Hi.
Is the microphone on? Oh, yeah.
Yes. We checked.
Hello. Hello, Christy and T and Books on Stereo.
So before we get too far, this is the book club, okay? This is the monthly book club. A handful of us read this book, and we're going to talk about it. If you just want to hang out and listen to us talk about stuff, you can, obviously.
It will be spoiled.
But it will be spoiled. We are going to talk about this book, The Bone Shard Daughter, right? Did I get it right? Okay. I'm going to just start off by saying...
Let me guess. You didn't like it.
I didn't love it. It wasn't written badly, but it was very predictable.
If anyone has read Priority of the Orange Tree...
Wait, did I? No.
Let me know.
I know that name, though.
If this gave you that vibe. Because, it wasn't...
Hopefully that one was better.
I feel like no, not really. The way that it was... Yeah, I know, Meek. I know. We've had this discussion 20 times.
Okay.
Anyway, it gave me, even though the stories are completely different, the feeling I got while reading it was almost the same.
That it was bad?
11.
11. Stop licking yourself and eating your footsies. 11. Hey. Come on, my bro.
Okay, let's see.
I just gave you a treat.
Hello, Cryptic. Christy said can't stay long because only on chapter 28, but wanted to know if everyone liked this book quickly.
What'd you think?
I gave it, I would say, like a 3.5. Because I liked...
To you, that's not a liked.
No, it is.
Since when? We always have this argument where we talk about how you're always like, I'm like, I'll give it a 3. And you're like, only a 3? That's not very good. And I'm like, dude, a 3 is like average. That's why it's in the middle.
Yeah, 3 is good, but it's not great.
You have a little black spot right on, right here, right. Oh, now it's on your lip. It's right on the up part of your lip.
Is it probably pizza?
No, it's like a little. Oh man, now it's on your lip. You got it. Okay, you licked it off.
Oh my god. Okay, 11.
Meek. Yo,
hey.
Just so you know, hey, they can hear you yelling like Jesus.
11. You're gonna rip your foot off. Stop. Okay.
Stop.
Anyway, T said it took me a while to get into. It was all right. It says books on stereo. T said she gave it a 3.75 to 4. I'm shocked. Okay. I want to hear what you like about it. Books gave it a 3 out of 5. Hello, Rogue.
Hey. Stop.
She goes right back to it.
She's not listening to us today. Do we have a bottle? Stop. She's scared of water, so... Hey.
Dude! Stop!
You scared of water too?
No, you got it.
I didn't mean to do that. Obvi. I got it more on my mouse than on you, so relax.
Alright.
Oh, I broke it.
Christy said, okay, so I'm not alone. Enjoying parts, but other parts I'm bored to tears, so I'm feeling very middle of the line with it. Cryptic said, I'm not a book person. Does that make me stupid or something? I like reading Harry Potter, but I never liked reading any other books.
So that doesn't make
stay,
you...
because I can. It's 4 a.m. So
Ooh.
I would say, no, it doesn't make you stupid, but I feel bad for you because you're missing out on a lot of good stuff. Like, there are other books that are amazing that are not Harry Potter. So, yeah. T said it was predictable. Like, I guess a lot of stuff about the book was well written, in my opinion. So I feel the same. Dude, the construct thing, I figured out in, like, 3 chapters. The fact that she was a construct. That is what I figured out.
So I thought one of 2 things. Either she was like a clone, kind of like he was.
Did you not change it? You did.
Yeah, I did.
Someone's like, what book are we talking about?
So I either figured she was a she was a clone.
Mm-hmm.
It took me kind of like a decent way in to be like, oh, maybe she's a construct thing. And I was thinking like, then if she's a construct, can't she just go in her own brain and like mess with her own thing?
Well, you mean if she's not a construct?
And
no.
So obviously she was compiled based on different parts, right?
Yeah.
So the eyes were from that girl. which I also thought she was just the girl. I thought she was like
What
kidnapped.
girl?
The girl that Jarvis was after. Not I know his name's not Jarvis, but that's I can't
His
remember.
wife?
Yeah, like 8 years ago or whatever. Because he's pretty young. He's not
I
that
kept
old.
still.
So they were like teenagers or something, right?
But
Unless
I
he's like
still,
40.
up to the end, kept thinking, and correct me if I'm wrong, that I guess so. I forgot about the eye thing entirely because I kept thinking that the people on the island that were getting dumped off by that boat and their memories changed, like that one of them was his wife.
I thought they called one of them by his
No,
wife's
they
name.
didn't.
What was the name that they called the girl?
Her name? Oh, I don't remember.
Not Sand or whatever.
Hey! Nice!
Nick, you need to stop yelling. It's like it's
Ugh.
loud for me. It must be even louder for them. That's why I always call her up here, because then I could watch her. 9, come here. 9, come on. Come on. You got it. You got it. I believe in you.
So, someone said the point of views were
Come on.
weak, the story was nothing inventive. I enjoyed the story. Like, I did...
What was the conflict?
I did predict the construct thing, but I enjoyed Jovis, I think his name was, overall probably the best with
Of
that
course.
creature.
Yeah.
And like we still don't know what that creature is, which I'm okay with.
But obviously the Emperor guy was using that creature to like absorb the smoky stuff out of it. That's why he had it in there. You know, he was using it as some sort of fuel source for something.
What?
So he had one captured in like a tank.
I don't remember that.
The one that the girl has now. Yeah?
I forgot completely.
Okay. So the girl had one at the end, and she rescued it from his lab.
Okay.
He was using it for some sort of fuel source to fuel his experiments or to fuel his power or something. And then as she freed it, that's kind of what kept them from like being enemies at first. They were like, oh my gosh, that looks just like him, but bigger. And then she was like, oh my God, that looks just like this one, but smaller. And then she's like, yours talks?
Yeah,
And then at the end, like, hers said a word.
What did it say?
I don't remember.
I
I just read it
finished
like
this-
2 hours ago.
I know, I finished this book like 2 weeks ago at this point, so I forgot a lot.
My point is like, I never felt like there was really a problem.
Well, it's the fact that they need... So,
The bone shards is
there's
the
this,
big
like,
thing.
over... essentially, the king or whatever he is... I don't know what he is. Emperor. Is making it seem like you need these bone shard creatures in order to function because that other country or whatever is going to come back and attack them. And like the conflict is like there is no heir to the throne, so he needs to like create one essentially. And then like this girl is figuring out who she is. I thought
Incorrect. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to like basically transfer his memories into a new body and transfer his old wife's memories into a new body so that he can live forever, basically. He's basically just trying to...
I know, but I'm saying he's got to create this next heir.
It's not a next heir, though. It's him. He's just trying to, like, prolong his life. It's not...
But
he's not, like, willingly just gonna die.
I can't remember names ever,
But my point is, like, I never felt like Jovis's... Jovis? Like, his whole point was if it just followed his story, I think it would have been more interesting than like her
the
whole
4 to 5 people.
Yeah, and then those two side characters, like the governor's daughter and her girlfriend. Like,
I felt like she was way too similar to the main character. Like sometimes when they started talking through her eyes, I was like getting confused.
Oh, one of the narrators too.
Because I was like,
she whispered.
I was like, time out. They're talking about like taking over the throne or taking over the house, and then they both had very similar storylines that were confusing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like one of them was gonna be governess or whatever, and the other one was gonna be the emperor or empress, and it's like they were too similar to be like I don't know. They were just confusing in my head sometimes.
In my head,
So. Goodbye, Cryptic. All right, I'm out. Bye, Christy. Not every author can write 5 point of views, 2 of them being in first person and 3 in third. I didn't even notice that some of them were in first versus third person, to be honest. I felt just that Jovis's story was probably the most interesting, then followed by Lynn. Then those other, so there was Jovis, Lynn, and then there was the two others, right?
So here's the thing, right? The only way that Jovis and Lynn and everyone else's stories connect, because it's two stories. It's technically three stories.
They did kind of all merge at the end.
Eh.
When he meets up with the Empress chick.
It was kind of like, hey, we're in the same world.
Yeah.
How you doing? In the next book, you'll find out more. I don't know, man. It just, I felt like it was just so disconnected. And also, I don't know, I wasn't able to keep track of time. How much time happened from the beginning of the book to the end? Was it a year?
No, I don't know.
Was it a month? Was it a couple of years?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Because sometimes it seemed like, how long did they plan that thing for? Like, they got Jarvis to join them. I know it's not Jarvis. They got him to join them. And then, like, it seemed like the next day, they're like, okay, we're going to attack now.
Yeah.
You know?
Hold on, time out. I'm sorry, Cryptic. I thought you were leaving because when you said, I gotta wake up early, and then I read gotta, I automatically just thought you were gonna say I gotta go. So, I'm sorry. You can stay. But, good luck getting your arm cast off. Okay,
Nice.
Continue. Alright, let's see. I would have loved it if the book was only Jovis. He was my favorite character and his story was the best in my opinion. Also, Kivox, okay. You number your dogs. So, sort of. We have 11 from Stranger Things and 9 3/4. The one on the island, isn't she the one he cloned? I thought the people from the island, I don't know
Can
where.
you stop burping
I'm sorry.
every 2 seconds? Anyway, no, she didn't get cloned because her body was burned, so he didn't have any cellular data to start off of. Cellular data, like cell phone data. He didn't have any data to start off with, so therefore he had to basically make her up from scratch. So he had to take different like Frankenstein her into.
So they're the rejects.
Into a creature. They're I think the leftover parts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that, or possibly, yeah. But also, what's his face? He obviously is able to clone himself. He's able to take a part of himself and make one that looks just like him. So.
I agree. The conflict was a bit weak.
The magic, I didn't like the magic. I didn't like the bone shard stuff. I
thought it was fine.
I just thought it was boring, and like it's like I've seen it before in something else. I don't remember what it is, where like you can make like a construct, but you have to give it specific instructions. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it just like the whole the shard thing from wherever it is, and they don't explain enough to make me care. Like it's like, oh, you give this up, and then the guy could like use it, and some people's burns faster than others. I'm just like, I don't get. I didn't
it's like,
like
and
the
also
world.
like as your shard is being used, you get sicker and sicker.
I didn't like the world. I mean, I
thought it was interesting.
I liked the floating islands. I guess they're on floating islands that
I didn't even get
float
that.
around, like they move.
What?
Yeah,
I missed that.
They're
entirely.
not like and nobody's ever seen the bottom of an island. That's what's her face, like his girlfriend or his wife was supposed to like be the first one to see the bottom of an island.
And then that one like got sunk. That was creepy.
Yeah, it got sunk. You can't sink an island, right? Unless it's floating.
Yeah.
So that's
why you thought it was floating.
No, it is floating. They specifically say it is. I'm just telling you can't sink an island unless
11.
So does that mean that maybe creatures are holding them up, like giant sea turtles? Like in Naruto or Avatar?
Ranami, Sand, and I always forget how to say her name.
What is it?
The other characters, yeah. The one that begins with an F.
Oh.
Or it sounds like an F. It's a PH.
How's it spelled? Where is it?
Phalue.
Yeah.
They said it in the audiobook, and I still...
Fallow.
Fallow.
That's what it was. Because I remember it sounded like fellow.
Oh. So yeah, like Renami and her were together, sort of, and then you had Sand, which I thought was interesting.
I didn't. I thought that was like, it was like such little parts that like, it's just like, this feels so disconnected from everything. And then at the end, they tried to connect it, and I'm just like, it didn't pay off. Like the amount of time I spent, the payoff was not rewarding enough. It wasn't like, it was nothing. Move your tea. 11. Hey.
She's like twitching her eye like crazy.
She's like, don't splash me with water. No.
All right.
Stop it.
We've been dealing with this like nonsense for weeks where our dogs want to eat their feet off because they have like allergies.
Yeah,
or
this one had to go on meds because her paws got all red. I don't know what happened to my accent there.
11. All right. I feel like this book is just the introduction to the story. His wife is on a floating island, I think. I think his wife was used up for parts, personally. Maybe parts of her are on, like, that island where Sand is.
11. I'm gonna have to take her. Like, 11, come here. Come on. Come here.
For all the hype, this was just not the best. This is a mid-tier fantasy. I probably won't continue with the series.
Oh, I definitely won't.
I know. What did you give it, though?
Best of 3. Best case scenario.
Where did 9 go?
She's over there. Stop eating yourself. I'm gonna watch you now. Yeah, I this is why I don't like hype, man. This is why people like are wrong. This is why I don't watch BookTube, because they're wrong.
I didn't get that from BookTube.
Oh, okay. Nobody on BookTube liked this book?
I didn't hear anyone talk about it.
So this is
I based it purely off of like early review copy.
This is why you need to find people that have similar opinions that you do, and then, you know, if you want to watch a review on that, you listen to what they say. So if you liked this book, like a lot,
so
like if you gave this a 5, then we're not for you. Is what I'm saying.
Books on Stereo said 2 stars. Sarah J. Maas blurbed it. I know that.
Yeah, look at that. It's right there.
I know that was like another
one
thing.
of the best fantasy. She just wants to like
put her name on it. I don't know.
Yeah, there's that, right? But also, if she says that, then you read this and you're like, oh, this is.
I'm sorry, but like.
No, listen. Listen to my point. Then you're like, oh, this isn't very good. I gotta go back to Sarah J. Maas because she writes some good stuff. See what I'm saying?
So you've never read Sarah J. Maas. Her earlier books are pretty trashy, and then they get better.
Trashy as in like sexual?
Like bad.
Oh.
No, but there is sexual stuff later on. But you gotta hand it to her. Like, I get that it's not her stuff is not for everyone, but like
Sarah,
she makes really intricate and well written like fantasy worlds, in my opinion. And I find her, like, writing very interesting, and I find her worlds very interesting. And I know people are going to trash on me about this because, you know, a lot of people love to hate Sarah J. Maas, but I think she's a really good author, personally.
I don't think that, well, who is this? Andrea
Stewart.
I don't think she's a bad author.
No, I think it was well written.
Yeah, I think she wrote, I just don't like the story.
Yeah.
And I don't like the characters I actually like. Separately, all the characters I thought were interesting. I just thought that the world itself was like, it was too like, not stale, but just too bland.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I didn't care that Lynn, was that her name?
Mm-hmm.
Won. I didn't care. She could have died. I was kind of hoping that the emperor would have won, and I would like, oh, this is different. If he had and like kind of started from scratch, and then at the end like she was born again and was like back at the beginning of the book. That would be kind of interesting, you know what I mean? Like, that would have been more interesting than I would have been like, oh, maybe I do want to know what happens next. And Jarvis shows up. I know his name's not Jarvis. Shows up, and, you know, he has to deal with something going on. And then they have some cool, epic, like, a spirit battle, because the little spirit fox, dog, cat, reindeer thing is awesome.
Dragon,
yeah. Sea serpent.
ACOTAR is the worst. I personally think that books like 1 and 2...
I thought that said actor.
No.
Actor is the worst.
A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Oh, really?
I know, I hate stuff like that
I thought that was the name of the book, was ACOTAR.
No. I know, I hate when people do that.
But you just
They do that to all of her books.
But you just
all
did
of them.
And you didn't tell me what it was.
All right.
Should I be mad at you?
I disagree. I pretty much think like her first couple of books in the Throne of Glass series were like the worst for her. In that series, though, that is the worst one out of the three, in my opinion. There Will Come a Darkness is a good book. It handled 5 point of views really well. I have that book. I haven't read it, though. T said I had the same reaction. To what, me? Like, with the ACOTAR thing? I feel like ACOTAR is so widely used now
is it? And
in the
Sam
book
isn't?
community where, like, I understand.
And Sam
I don't
isn't?
ever yell at you for calling sufficiently advanced magic Sam. Never.
Started
It's
that.
all of his other books that, like, you guys do that too. It's not as intuitive.
We know. We weren't talking to you. So
Whatever.
we're just talking to ourselves, right, guys? High five. Yeah, thanks.
I wrote notes to myself
About this book?
about this book because I was like, I'm gonna forget to talk about this stuff. Let's see. Now, if I could find where I put the notes.
Oh, I forgot. This is how she takes notes. She just has one page that she writes all the notes for everything she has on that one page. She just keeps going. So therefore, she can never find anything. Instead of like making a new page for a new notes, like, hey, this is my notes about this book. Am I correct? So now you're just kind of going through your random things, right?
I had it here.
You could search. Just type in like a keyword. Type in a keyword from it. Like Jarvis or whatever.
No, I didn't write anyone's names, probably.
Oh. Jovis.
Keep talking while I look this up.
I don't have anything else to say about this book. It's not recommended from me.
Okay. So...
Okay.
I don't even understand my own writing. I was confused why Jovis stopped believing his wife was on that island with sand. And
because he told himself that was like his whole thing. He's like, I'm gonna just keep believing that she's alive, blah, blah, blah. But at the end, he's like, I know that it was stupid. I know she's dead. I know she's been dead for a while now, and it's just, he finally came to terms, and it was an attempt at character development of him growing up and moving on.
All right, then I did write that Lynn's eyes looked like Amala's eyes, which is his wife. Did the Emperor rip them out and put them in Lynn?
What was the Emperor's wife's name? What was Lynn's? So that's the name I think that they said that Sand or whatever her name was.
Oh.
Which is really confusing.
Then I wrote everyone on that island is a construct. When the Emperor died, the constructs on the islands
lost their
minds became free.
Yeah.
I forgot that he died, and I forgot that happened.
Oh.
And then they're creating an army. Who's creating an army?
The constructs.
Oh. So that's that.
That's like the last paragraph that all of those things happen in like the last chapter.
Yeah, I didn't want to forget, and then I forgot.
But that's the last chapter. Like you remember other stuff from the beginning that's less far.
That always happens to me.
The very end you
forget.
The
very end I can't remember for some reason.
I think it's because usually at the beginning you continue to read and it keeps calling.
There's so much detail.
But it keeps calling back to the beginning.
Yeah.
And then at the end it's like nothing calls back to it ever again and you'll never remember.
She said that's what I said earlier. She's on the island. So I think we thought you were saying Jovis's wife is on the island, but you're saying the Emperor's wife is on the island?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh.
But it's confusing because she was burned and turned to ash and dead. So it's like, what does that mean? Guess what? I don't care enough to read anymore. I really don't.
I would probably read the second one.
No, you wouldn't.
Just
You always,
to see,
you
like,
always say that, but you wouldn't because you won't read books that you want to read, that you're like excited about.
I mean, I won't. It's just time.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. You won't read it, is my point. Unless you were trapped on an island with all your books, and eventually you would find time to read it. But, like, you're always going to find new books. So, like, I feel like that statement is kind of like just being nice. Which, yes, if you're Andrea, I'm sorry. We didn't love your book. But you're a great author.
He also said the construct was his daughter.
Which construct?
He said the construct was his daughter. The Emperor? I don't know.
I don't think he had a daughter.
I think he just made a daughter.
So
anywho, that's that.
Oh, we're reading Dune next. Moving on. Dune is what month's book?
October.
October's book.
She said yes, he had one. I don't remember there being a real daughter. I just always assumed.
What happened to his daughter?
Meek, you have dog hands. Can you not touch my book?
I have human hands.
She died at 3 years old. Missed that part too.
Nah, who cares?
So we're reading Dune for October.
Look at that cover, guys. Woo-wee.
A super big book. You started it.
It's good, dude. I like it. I don't know if it's because I'm hyped about the movie and like I now I have everyone's look stuck in my head, so I'm not having trouble understanding at all what's happening.
Yeah, because if you do read the audiobook, just be warned that the audiobook is done kind of uniquely.
It's done like, and there's also some sounds in the background. There's always like some ambient noises. If they're like on a ship, it makes like some shippy noises. There's like it's very light. It's very well done. The acting's good. It's very much like there's a narrator that does all the narration throughout the book. I believe it's throughout the book. I'm only a couple hours in. And then each character seems to have an actor that does their voice. So when there's a conversation happening, like the narrator sets the mood, and then the characters start talking to each other, or
and
whatever.
Cutting out like so and so said this and this person said that. Like they'll just talk.
And if they think something, it goes back to the narrator thinking it, so that you know that they're not talking.
That's gonna be so confusing to me. I think
it's not at all.
I don't know.
It's not at all. It's like honestly, it's like listening to a show with a narrator. It's like if you were watching The Office. That's what I gave you the example of. You're watching The Office, and Michael starts. You're not watching. You're listening to The Office. Michael starts talking. You know it's Michael because it's super cringy, and you're gonna feel embarrassed for what he's saying.
I get it.
So they did a
Once
really good job.
Once you get used to character voices, then I think it's fine.
It's fine. And usually they still mention the characters' names in the narration, so you know that it's Paul. You know. I like that the main character's name is just Paul. It's just something easy. It's not Jarvis, Jovis, or Lynn. Lynn isn't that hard of a name, but still.
So this is October. I hope you guys...
We need to show them that book. That cover.
That one.
That is like the coolest book I think we own. I think that
is... right now?
Yeah, that is the coolest book edition I've ever seen in my life. Open it. Because there's another image on the inside of the... I can't touch it. Look at that. That's his whole thing. That's the phrase that they say that like right at the beginning too.
Oh yeah.
Like within a couple of pages in, I think.
This is the same, I think.
No, it's a different picture. Yeah. It's a beautiful cover.
So it's done like an old school radio mystery story.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's done well. They did an excellent job.
People gave it such bad reviews for that
reason. Well, they're
reason.
idiots. People are stupid. I hate the world we live in. No, people are idiots.
That's it.
I'm hyped. I hope you guys are hyped about this. It's like a 21 hour long audiobook. So therefore, for me, it would be like a 3-year long read. So therefore, I'm listening to it, and it's dope. And I'm hyped, and I want to watch the movie really bad.
When does it come out? In December,
right? Yeah.
So it's a good way for everyone to get caught up reading right in time for the movie. Is it going to be more than one movie?
I don't know, but it's Dune 1.
So, yes.
But I think it's actually book 1 and 2.
This is?
No.
Oh, the movie.
Or it's parts of it. It's like parts of book 2. So I'm kind of worried about that because that's a lot of book to fit into one movie. But I guess a lot of it is visuals. You know, there's a lot of like visuals in the movie, and I think that can be streamlined. The director is a big fan of the books. He's French, I believe, too. I don't know what kind of French he is though. I think he's real French, not fake French.
Wow, dude.
What?
T says she's hyped because she pushed for this book.
Thanks, T. You got my back.
Shout out from Wyoming.
Wait, wasn't it like she's like, I think we should read Dune, and then you were like, I don't know, and then T was like, you should ask Kivox what he wants to read.
T said yes, French Canadian.
He's French Canadian? Nice.
Dennis Villeneuve.
Yeah, he seems pretty dope, and he seems like he like really likes like the stuff, the actual like information, you know. So it seems like it's gonna be, and also the good thing too that people may like is that this seems to have a lot of like strong like women characters, and it's funny because it was written such a long time ago, so it's kind of like breaking that mold, you know. It was
When was it written?
It's old as hell. 65. 65.
Yep.
So that's pretty impressive. You know what I mean?
Villanueve. Villanueve? That's how you say it? It's too complicated.
It sounded Spanish, the way you said it.
No, I can't talk
Do it in
French.
Japanese.
How do you spell it?
I just read it right over there.
Villanueve.
What about Dennis?
Denis.
Denisu.
She's like, I'll tell you next D&D. I'll never be able to say it. Let's make every name Japanese, then we're cool. Alright. That's it.
Thanks for watching, guys.
I hope you all join next month, and I'll post something on Instagram to remind everyone.
You should post some pictures of that book, man. That is a cool book. I love that book so much. There's a legit. It's like getting a Charizard.
What's the date? October 25th, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I can't swipe. Oh well.
10:25. Jim will be here.
Nice. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment, like the video, all that stuff. That's it, right? What's that?
Bye. I'll check out Dune. It sounds good.
Yeah, it's cool. Okay.
Bye. No.